So, a mom of a biracial teen is seen on a video being tased um, by a state trooper, and she plans to sue. And so, this is by a Michael Braun and Fort Myers News Press. And so, this has been televised. It was on the news. I saw it yesterday, and I wasn't too sure about what it was all about. And now I'm looking at it. And so it's absolutely clear why she is considering suing. So this is San Carlos, Florida. Chris Rodman finally got to see her son on Wednesday. So the mother of a 16-year-old was beside him with worry, angry, and concern that her son, currently in the Southwest Florida Juvenile Justice Center, is in pain, and for 6 days she has been prevented from seeing him. So she goes on to say that he looks good, and she said that after the visit, shortly thereafter, an afternoon, it's kind of crazy because I just don't know what I'm going to do. And so here she is, picture here. She's showing her 16-year-old teenage son, and some photos in the background with her. And so that's Chris Rodman of San Carlos Park, who stands in front of childhood photos of her son and photos on her cell phone. And so this issue is a tasing of her son in the San Carlos Park neighborhood where his girlfriend lives a week ago. Okay, so the tasing is when it took place. It was a week ago, so it was not that far away. So it was fairly recent. So a Florida Highway Patrol officer fired a taser twice after the trooper said that the teen failed to follow his orders. So the teen is charged with failure to obey a police officer, as well as marijuana possession and obstruction without violence. And so when I saw the video, you could see he wasn't fighting, he wasn't combative. He used the taser, and the kid fell back, looked like he almost could have cracked his skull. And they showed it several times on the news. I don't know if they'll show it again at all again this week. They possibly will be, especially if they're talking about her considering suing. So the story has gained national attention, given the heightened interest in police tactics involving people of color in particular. And so Florida Highway Patrol is committed to a public safety of citizens and property, and the agency said in a statement when asked for comment. So in regards to the June 16, 2021 incident, a taser deployment occurred. An administrative review of the incident immediately commenced and remains ongoing. So upon completion, the results of the administrative review will become public record. The teen's mother is convinced that it was a case of racial profiling because her son is a person of color. His father is black, and I have no doubt he was profiled, she stressed, adding it was excessive force. And so the issue has blown up in social media, with national attention outlets calling the mother and showing up at her home where the the tasing had actually took place in the Timberlake. It's called the Timberlake Residential Community off the Three Oaks Boulevard. And so the incident started shortly before 1 p.m. June 16. So according to the report by the trooper George Smerinos, who resides in the same Timberlake community, he was driving west on the Wingfoot Drive, is what it's called. I slowed down and then turned left south onto an Indian Laurel Way, Scarlet Oak Avenue, and this left turn is the entrance to the private residential neighborhood called Timberlake, the report reads. And so the community is not access restricted, so it has no gates and is open to all of the traffic. And so in the report, Smirnois said that he saw the teen describing him as a suspicious person dressed in black. So Smirnois said that the teen darted into the shrubbery after spotting the trooper in his marked Dodge Charger FHP patrol unit. Smirnois said that the teenager, his behavior and demeanor and body language appeared to be that of a burglar and someone who had just committed a crime or was about to commit a crime. So Smirnois said that he could see the teen in the backyard and motioned with his hand for the youth to approach. And then when the teen said no, Smirnois said that he identified himself as a police officer and told him to come to him. And so the teen, again, he said no. And so the report said that the teenager then walked away and entered the yard on Chestnut Tree Loop, which is the home of his girlfriend. And the trooper said that he then pulled his taser and pointed it at the teen and told him that he would tase him if he didn't obey by turning around and putting his hands behind his back. And then the teen turned away from Smirnois and walked away from the trooper and that trooper that tased him. And after that, he fell onto the brick patio, and the trooper ordered him to put his hands behind his back again and then tased him when he didn't comply. And so Rodman, the boy's mother, said Smirnois called her and told her what had happened, and she drove roughly about 1.1 miles from her home where the son was under arrest. And at that point, she said that she was angry with her son. But however, she also said that she was unaware of the circumstance surrounding the tasing that took place and that he had struck his head on the masonry on the patio. So there's a hard brick, and so there's a video, and they had played it. I know I saw it like yesterday, and like I said, it looked like he could have cracked his skull when he fell back. So I didn't know then, and I know now, the mother is saying, and I am glad that he's still alive, she said. So his girlfriend lives right there, and he didn't dart into the bushes. Okay, as she said, he must have talked to his mother and explained his version of the story, and it wasn't the same way that the trooper explained it. So Rodman says that she's become more concerned and angry with this particular trooper. So since she saw her son in the back of the patrol car until she saw her son in the back of the patrol until June 16th, and she had not seen him and was told visitation was canceled that week. And this was Southwest Florida Juvenile Justice Center. So Dennis Driscoll, the superintendent at the center, confirmed that the standard visitation was canceled this week, but would resume on Sunday. So we are doing individual special visit rights right now for some of the longer term kids, Driscoll said. So Rodman spoke to Driscoll Wednesday, and he said that he would see what he could do. And this is what she basically said that he told her. And so that turned into a visit on Wednesday afternoon, and Rodman said that she did not see any overt signs of injury, but he looks good, and I got a hug from him, and his spirits are pretty good, she said. However, she said her son told her he was still having headaches and he was uncomfortable with his back hurting. Because if you look at the video, you can see how he landed on his head and landed on his back because he landed backwards on the brick. And so the attorney, Derek Tyler, representing Rodman's case, said that he has seen the teen himself, so he's still in pain, Tyler said, and the impact that the teen suffered, Tyler said, was hard enough that it broke masonry on the fire pit on the patio, and you can see where part of the brick had chipped off when he fell backwards on it. And so Rodman, while still angry at her son, is more upset with this trooper on how he handled the situation. So I'm going after him for excessive force, she said, of Smirnois. and plans to explore her legal options as well. So I've read about things that they have to follow or abide by also. And from what I'm seeing, he had no right to do that. And so they have rules and they have to go by too as well. So I don't want this to happen to another child. And so Smirnois is a lauded officer, was named Investigator of the Year in 2020, and comes from a long line of troopers. I believe in his family. So his father is a retired FHP trooper, and his two brothers, part of the Smirnois triplets, are also FHP trooper officers. And so San Carlos mom admits her son is not a perfect kid and isn't painting him with a halo. However, she said that the day before, the deputies Lee County Sheriff's Office pulled her son over and questioned him about some of the local crimes and then let him go. So she said that her son is on disability. He gets a check every month and he has ADHD and other issues such as anxiety. And so now he will have other issues of distrust in law enforcement to add to that. And I'm adding that. So he is just a little bit different, but not a bad kid. He's misunderstood and a bit of a follower. And so she knows, parents know their children. And so none of these officers take any of that into consideration before they start pursuing individuals, what their personal issues are. They just go after them and they see what they see and they go after them. So hopefully it goes on to say that he'll learn from this, she said. So the family and the girlfriend isn't speaking and wants no part of the issue. So she said that, and they are upset with the media that have been in and around their house as well for questioning. So they just wanted to see where it happened. Rodman said, shrugging her shoulders about the inability to prevent unwanted attention. So the problems are just one of the issues for Chris Rodman. So she quit her several years long job as an assistant manager at a local 7-Eleven when her knee became injured and she couldn't stand for long periods of time. So I had to borrow money and pay his lawyer. She said, "What are you going to do?" And so Rodman, who is a single mother, also angered with the marijuana charge, but with her son and not the law. She has a prescription for medical marijuana for pain relief and said her son had the substance with him. So I don't know. I didn't know that he had it, she said. So I was upset. And so the team will appear for the docket sounding July the 30th before Lee County Judge Tara Pollock. And so that's pretty much the whole incident. And so that explains it, which seems typical of a teenager that, from what she described, to do something like that. And so, unfortunately, this trooper didn't understand all of the details, but now I'm sure that they're fastly understanding the details of where this is headed. And so this is one of those situations where, you know, yeah, I would have to say I agree that, usually when they approach children as well as adults of color, it is met with a whole nother lens of scrutiny. And so it is, shoot now, apprehend now, use force now, ask questions later. And unfortunately, some of the incidences are more than some of the incidences don't end in somebody being alive. And so that's the thing that I would say she would be thankful, and she even said that. But fortunately, he was able to still be around. But having said that, I'm going to let this video go. And it's interesting she mentioned 7-Eleven because I haven't heard so many good things about 7-Eleven lately. That's in another video, of course. Having said that, I will let this video go. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for listening.